So dear Dhamma friends, be comfortable with your posture and relax your body and focus your mind to this bell sound. So while you focus into the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing and let everything to settle down as it is. Gently close your eyes please and follow the sound. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So dear Dhamma practitioner, in this meditation session, we're going to practice Samatha mental culture and Vipassana mental culture. So Samatha mental culture, Samatha meditation, tranquility meditation, Chitta Bhavana is a method that you bring your mind to calmness and develop your mind to state of undistracted. So because our very nature of the mind is always going here and there. Why it happened like that? Because we used to be like this way. We used to think like that, and now the mind have that behavior. Actually, mind doesn't have any form or the structure, any nature inherent within itself. So whatever available, mind go with it. So then you have a good opportunity today if you able to keep your mind focused to one point. And then what will happen? The mind start to follow that. So then we have opportunity to bring our mind to tranquility state. So otherwise there is no way how we can practice meditation. So always, even in the mind and this entire universal nature is like that. It doesn't have any kind of inherent, permanent structure or nature to be exactly like this way, like that. It always go with according to the necessary conditions. That is the very nature of this entire universe. And that is the very nature of your life. So that is the very nature of your mind. That is the very nature of your body. So if you are able to understand this within your mind, and you can get out of any kind of mental situation or the state and develop it and construct it to a better way with the awareness, with understanding. So then tranquility state is make your mind usable. Why? Because if the mind is busy, that mind cannot use the way we want. And it mostly, the busy mind mostly governed by the emotions or the fear or that kind of nature. But once you able to make your mind usable, and that usable mind, if you able to guide with the awareness, and that is where you can gain the wisdom through understanding. So that path we call the vipassana bhavana. So in the beginning, let's try to bring our mind to one pointness, and then from there develop your tranquility state and go to vipassana level. So how we can do this? So in the beginning, we need a mental object for that. So we call in part, it called nimitta. Nimitta means the workplace. So as a nimitta, we take our own inhalation, exhalation. So it is available 24/7, and it is deeper, have the connection with you, and it doesn't cost any money or anything, and it is always there with you, and then it you cannot have any doubt regarding it. So like that, it brings more kind of benefits to you. And at the same time, when it comes to body and mind, the deeper the language your body and mind can understand is your inhalation, exhalation. And deeply your mind and surrender to your inhalation, exhalation. So when you observe and allow your inhalation, exhalation to settle down, and that will help you to enter to the wisdom path. So where you focus in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and just allow inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. So then when you focus, sometimes you see your mind go here and there, but don't worry about it, because it happened, because that's it used to be. So then what you have to do, rather than focusing to and worrying about it, just bring your mind and bring your attention to the inhalation, exhalation, and stay with it. So when you focus about inhalation, exhalation means don't look for the breathing, and just try to find the sensation of the breathing happening in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and follow the sensation and recognize the inhalation, exhalation through the sensation. And then don't visualize or don't try to make anything happen. Don't hold your breath or don't count on it, and don't make any comments or don't have any kind of a conversation yourself regarding the practice. Just simply start to observe and let everything to settle down. And from there, once the mind settle down, your body, your breathing, your mind start to work as one. So in that level, you come to a point that you're able to stay in that non-distracted mood. So in that level, from that moment, you go to the vipassana level. So in that vipassana level, the same inhalation, exhalation, or the same sensation, just observe the impermanent of the experience within your inhalation, exhalation. And it is whatever the feelings that arise within yourself, and also even the inhalation, exhalation itself doesn't have any permanent way to exist. It also inherent nature, it has the inherent nature to change. Another thing is unsatisfactory nature. There is no place or moment to settle down and exist in a solid way, giving a same kind of experience. So you cannot have that, and at the same time, the inhalation, exhalation also doesn't have it. Another one is selflessness. So whatever the feelings or the sensation arise through this inhalation, exhalation, and it doesn't have any kind of self itself, And also inhalation, exhalation also doesn't have inherent self. So like this way, from your experience and from the inhalation, exhalation, from both sides, observe this, that impermanent nature and the selflessness, and also that unsatisfactory nature. So again and again, stay with that. So whatever, in case, whatever experience come to you, maybe some outside sounds or any other disturbance, or any thoughts come, and look for the, then see the change happening within it. Don't interfere with that, that whatever the experience, just go with the, and see the change happening within it, and also unsatisfactory nature, and also see the selflessness. So that way, again and again, again and again, when the mind able to be with, then you will see that how you can going to understand this nature deeply. Because when the mind able to see and experience and understand within your own experience, so that going to become your wisdom. So that wisdom will help you to get out of the grasping nature, holding nature, and naturally you come to a point detach, and then there is no resistance, there is no kind of heaviness, or there is no that power to hold or be grounded. Another thing is no comparison. So this kind of nature arise in your mind when you really experience the impermanent selflessness and unsatisfactory nature. So let's practice a little bit, and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body, and observe head to toes yourself, and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. And take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and deeply and gently breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And focus your mind to inhalation, exhalation. Just allow it to happen itself. Just recognize inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize. and recognize the impermanent selflessness and unsatisfactory nature within your inhalation, exhalation, and within your sensation. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. And as far as we can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. So mentally repeat after me with clear intention. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, invisible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when it comes to this spiritual practice, Dhamma practice, it is very important to know the purpose and the destination that you looking for. So, especially when it comes to the enlightenment, so the enlightenment is the Nibbana is in conventional life, even though we understand it. It's mostly unfathomable things that we cannot explain it or understand by just ordinary words. But at the same time, it's like when you look at the shadow, you can recognize where the light come from. So like that, you have to use the power of that your conventional mental capacity to understand this very existence, and then you can get an idea about how the enlightenment or the nibbana can be. So when it comes to that we experience this ordinary life. So this ordinary life, when you look for the nibbana, what you look for, or maybe it is not another existence, or sometimes we look for higher existence. In the dharmic path, what should be your higher existence? That wherever you meet the Dhamma, wherever the place that you can more and more practice and uplift your awareness is the best place for you. So when we come to this ordinary life, and what is the very nature of this ordinary life? And sometimes if we don't look where we are, and maybe we don't want to get out of it, or maybe we keep attached to this, maybe we become more into the ordinary life, and we never look for the exit path. So when it comes to ordinary life, the very nature of it inherent with the sadness, worry, unhappiness, fear, uncertainty, and also and that always depending from the karma, and it always depending from the time and space. So this is the very nature of ordinary life, inherent with the sadness, worry, unhappiness, fear, unsatisfaction, and uncertainty, and also always depending from the karma, and depending from the time and space. So other thing is, it's this notion of self, it's always related to the self, and always looking for and to uplift the self, develop the self, and train and tame the self. And this itself become a struggle. This make you unrest. That make you kind of like a disease. So our own self, our own behavior, our own being itself is kind of like a disease. Why? Because depending from the time and space, karma, and uncertainty, unsatisfaction, worry, unhappiness, fear. So this kind of very nature. And we always look for how to be better and improve ourselves. Where are you going to end in the conventional life? If you become that idea with the self-centered, where are you going to end? There is no place to end. It's always keep happening, keep happening, keep happening. So this is the very nature of the ordinary life. And look for self-improvement, and look for success in conventionally. And where are you going to end with that success? It always leads you to more and more and more and more. Another thing is always in panic mood. It's called paranoia, unrest. Always in panic mood. And especially trying to get the attention. That's the very nature of the ordinary life. That it's very difficult for people if you don't get the attention. And but at the same time, if you look very deeply, you getting attention mean that you are more into distract, and you are more into disturb. So that is the very nature of the attention. So attention lead you to disturb. So then we are always, the panic mean unrest. It's like waves in the ocean. And we look from outside, validation, others' opinion. It's very need for this conventional life. Nothing wrong with this anything, but you have to understand that the very nature of it. And when you look at the social medias, this everyone, it's like that look for attention. But once you go with the attention that you don't see, and deeper inside it, it gets disturbed. And then that disturb will again take you to unrest. And another thing is the fear. It's inherent with the fear, that the fear of unknown, Another thing is fear of known. Fear of unknown also take us to unrest, disease, and fear of known also take us to disease. Fear of unknown regarding that the things, how things going to happen, what will happen, and after your death, what will happen, tomorrow, what will happen. That unknown, that before you start something, that what will be the result, that unknown make you fearful. And sometimes also we know, like fear of known, that we know we all going to die, we all going to go somewhere. Then we know, but that knowing also create another fear. So another thing is the very nature of this ordinary life. We just don't know the direction and the nature and the state of this fulfillment and the fearlessness. We don't know that the state, what kind of way that we can achieve, and what is the way, nature of fearlessness, fulfillment. And it always, and look for that unknown direction and unknown nature. And as example, that's why the people, when they develop the science and technology, they always try to tackle the behavior of the nature, because it create a deeper unrest as ordinary people, the behavior of the nature and how it tomorrow going to be. So this dependency also very nature of the ordinary life. And other thing is, we don't know the pattern or the behavior of the karma. So that is another, the quality of the ordinary being. Because if you really know the pattern or the behavior of the karma, then your life going to be more different. So the other one is that we always get disturbed mentally, and that's mean you cannot attain to tranquility state, that you cannot focus. So if you able to focus, and if you staying in tranquility state, and you get out of this ordinary conventional life, and you become somebody else. So those are the qualities that we experience as an ordinary being. Another thing is that always, that what we do, this is something big, that what we do, knowingly or unknowingly, whatever you do bodily, verbally, and mentally actions, out of that actions, it always some result going to be, always some result going to be related to your actions. So you cannot make an action that without creating a reaction or the result. Those are the very nature of the ordinary being. That is who we are. So then yourself, once you understand this very nature, so wherever you born, wherever you go in this samsaric journey, as an ordinary being, you are related to this all. You cannot get out of it. So then the only thing is what will happen to us once we get used to this. We keep going with that, we keep going with that, we keep going with that. But there is a way. Once you attain to tranquility state, you come to a point to see this very clearly and recognize this is just, it is not you. It happened according to necessary conditions, things, this all. But notion of the self hold us to believe this is me. So that's why through the tranquility state, in the beginning, you calm down your mind and you don't get disturbed out of this all, the conventional, the qualities of the life. And then from there, you start to get out of it through the knowledge of Vipassana. So the important thing then if you're able to do something or experience something without personalizing, that experience will help you to slowly move out of this ordinary lifestyle. But if you personalize, if you personalize, it's always going to make kind of like a dualistic mind. You divide, this is me, that is that. Then you go to compare and you come to comparison. When you personalize, you divide things, and then the divisions bring the comparison. So that is the very nature of conventional life. Once you compare, once you divide, once you get into subject and object, once you personalize, that it always related to the samsara. So then, little by little, is there any way that you can experience something without personalizing? So whatever the actions you perform in day-to-day life, just come to a moment without getting disturbed, just experience that action. Then you will see. So as example, if you drink cup of tea, can you just be with that without getting disturbed from your own thoughts or something from outside? If you do any work, just be limited to that work and do it. It is kind of like a conventional level of ordinary level of you develop a samadhi, tranquility state. So in the very first thing, you do the action very clearly and be with that action. So that is the first step that you have to do. Physically, you do whatever the actions, and in that action, you completely be with it. And you don't get disturbed out of anything, especially from your past experience or the future desires. And the second part is, and you are that consciously should involve him with the action. That means you have to bring the awareness to your bodily, verbally, and mentally action. And then it is your physical and mental both involving into that action. So that is make complete the moment. That completion, in the very moment, it brings the satisfaction, and also in that satisfaction you feel more comfortable, and in that comfort and satisfaction you feel the fulfillment within that action and within that awareness, not something with the achieve to something or gaining something. No, in the very moment, just being yourself, you become complete. In that completeness, and you don't look for anything. In that complete, that is the very first step. You get out of the the ordinary, this we call the conventional life, that is the very first step you gain to get the the becoming better from this ordinary life. Maybe it is a moment of experience, but if you keep doing it again and again, you are able to expand the capacity, and also the depth that you experience with the awareness, with your consciousness. It becomes more stronger and deeper, stronger, longer and deeper. So that way, that clarity will help you little by little, the experience something higher in tranquility state, in the samadhi state. So that experience will take you to the vipassana level of understanding to recognize how things to be as they are. So that is the process from this conventional life, how you can transform to eternal life. So little by little, try yourself without personalizing, just being in the action and adding your awareness or the consciousness to that, and completing it with your physical and mental awareness and the clarity. So in that fulfillment, what you gain will take you to the next level. Without that moment, you cannot just go, because this is not the intellectual path. It is more by experiencing you have to go. But at least you have to know how to do, and but it is your own effort. If you experience something without personalizing, you're going to see something. So there is a story that in day-to-day life. As example, if some neighbors come and disturb to your house, you get mad. And if somebody come, cut your trees or disturb your garden or do something or say something, and you get disappointed. And there were a group of children playing on the beach, and then they were making sand castles. So what happened? By mistake, one child hit another child sand castle, and that child got so disappointed, and he started to have the fight and beating each other. Then all the children divided to two parts, and then it became a big fight. And some became unhappy, sad, and worried. And the group of children, because of this sand castle and because of this mistake, what happened? It became a mess. And somehow they get back to their sand castle, and they were making sand castles. Then suddenly what happened? There was a huge wave came and hit the sand and washed everything away. And all the children, when they saw this big wave come, everybody ran away from the sand and stay away from it. And everybody saw this, all the sand castles wash away. And then looking that, they was enjoying, jumping, screaming and saying, wow. The same thing happened. Just the child by mistake hit the sand castle, and at that time they were worried, and but now this, because of the big waves and everything washed away, they start to enjoy. See the very nature of the mind. The same thing with us also. When something happens, if with some person involved in it, and what will happen? We go and mad with that person. But maybe with the same result come because of the nature. And see, sometimes when the earthquake comes, and sometimes people enjoy it. and they know this everything going to collapse. And the big waves or the floods coming. And some people enjoy. And some people just say, piece of wood, they try to swim this huge flood. And when the big rains come and try to wash everything away, sometimes people enjoy that. So when things happen to everybody, and when things happen because of the nature, people take it. But the same result, same thing happened because of a person. We cannot bear it. We cannot tolerate it. But if you look at in the deeper sense, the same result, why we have the two kind of reactions. So mainly when it comes to life, with this nature, that the nature inherent with the heat, motion, liquidity and hardness, and it has a behavior and you cannot track and you don't know what it is. It can happen because of any reason. And no, we are also the part of that. We also part of the heat, motion, liquidity and hardness. We all have the same nature. That all the earth, the water, the heat and the wind, whatever it has, the same nature has within us also. And also we have more than that, we have the greed, hatred and the delusion also. So when the greed, hatred, delusion and mix with the heat, motion, liquidity and hardness, sometimes it becomes more stronger than the wind or the heat or the earthquake or the flood. But still, it has the same kind of power that giving us the same result, is the same like the nature. So the only thing is we have to understand when we personalize something, and it always going to bring us difficulties. But if you look in a larger scale and with the sharp and clear mind, and you will recognize the everything has the same nature. So to get into that in the vipassana level, that is what deeply you expand and you develop your awareness to see that, not just becoming an ordinary person and hanging there and clinging to that, just your self-centered experience. And if you look for something better, you have to come to that view and understand deeply that. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. So during this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbitiyo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata ca ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.